Hey everybody, it's John. I cover cryptocurrency videos about Dogecoin specifically. I cover the Dogecoin news and the Dogecoin technical analysis. And in today's video, I will be covering the Dogecoin technical analysis. To support this channel, all you have to do is tap the subscribe button and tap the like button and share these videos out for the sole purpose of growing the Dogecoin community so we can grow our investment together. Okay? So you came for the Dogecoin sticks. Let's get to it. Today's April 2nd, 2021. And as always, I can start with a daily chart here. As you see on a daily chart today, obviously we're pulling back, which isn't ideal, but generally speaking, from a previous large move, like yesterday, about a 30% move yesterday here. When you see a big move, you're gonna see a pullback, and that's totally healthy, right? Why are you pulling back? Is because people are skeptical about it and they're taking profits. Okay. But what you need to understand is today is, guess what? Today is, I would say, Good Friday. Good Friday for you Christians and anyone in the Catholic religion. This is a big thing for you guys. So obviously from April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here, we're gonna have and in a weekend coming up, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's going to be a little more dead in my opinion here. So it makes sense that people are gonna want to take profits and just check out the markets temporarily, right? Not everyone is an investor like you and I. Some people are just day traders. Maybe they want to take their money and go to another crypto that's 10xing or something. But if you're watching these videos, you are most likely an investor here, which is fantastic, and it's kind of what you want to do. Invest in Dogecoin or any kind of cryptocurrency because they're very volatile. So if you're day trading it, it's very easy to lose your money here. But anyway, let's get back to the chart here. So on the daily chart today, we see the 50 MA is about 55 cent, about 55. The 200 MA is about 206. So you see the 200 MA is still on an upward trajectory, which is very bullish long term. Of course, on the current 50 MA, the current price is 581 and the current 50 MA is 55. So we are above the 50 MA. So the true first support I'm going to see here is 55. Okay, if the sticks reach about 553, I am going to expect a bounce around there because the 50 MA is traditionally speaking a very strong support or a very strong resistance. But in this case here, I would call it resistance because obviously the sticks are currently above the 50 MA. So I'm going to call it a support for now until it's not, right? So that being said there, you can see yesterday's huge volume of 484 million. When I was recording at that time, I think it's about maybe 405 million around there. So from the time I recorded to the end of the day, it had about another 80 million, in volume right there. So it's quite significant. Today we're seeing about 130 million volume currently as of this recording here, but I suspect at the end of the day we may see maybe possibly around 200 million volume right there. So we'll have to wait and see to see how the day ends for the most part. So let's see the MACD on a daily and see how that looks so far. So I'm going to zoom in here to make it really big and easy to see. So as I know yesterday, yesterday in a previous video, that the technicals for the 12-day moving average on the MACD it started trending up all of a sudden right here, right? It started trending up. So what happened was that 6 or 7 days ago, when it was kind of doing a bearish trend downwards, right? It was hit by a long-legged doji, and then it started to trend back up for 6 or 7 days, right? And it kind of confirmed that we're in a bull market. However, we started reaching into the bearish territory on the MACD, and if that happens, we will generally speaking would see a lower low and a lower high here. However, so today we are seeing the MACD trend up now into the bullish territory in literally one day. Because how that happened was that, so for the past 6 or 7 days, the volume has been so low, maybe 40 million, 50 million, 30 million, around there. So basically in one day, on March 31st, we had 480 million. So that basically squashed the 6 or 7 days and just totally transformed the chart in one day because of the high volume. Thus sending out a buy signal. Normally speaking, when you see these kind of signals here, they're usually buy signals or sell signals, right? If you see a big volume, where it's selling off, then that's going to be your traditional sell signal here. But of course, in this case here, it's a buy signal, which is fantastic. Obviously, still pulling back and it looks very bearish. But technically speaking, here there is no reason for it to be selling off. The only reason I can think of is because it's Easter Sunday, and even the Europeans, guess what? Most Europeans are usually, are going to be in the Christian or Catholic faith right here, right? For the most part, so it makes sense that even they're selling off as well because they want to capture their profit and enjoy the weekend. And Americans, very similar as well. USA is predominantly a Christian nation for the most part. Obviously, you have your different religions, but for the most part, we're still a Christian nation for the most part. So I'll leave it at that right there. So we are seeing yesterday had a very strong velocity. Today it's kind of tapering off. Right, the velocity isn't as vertical now. Now it's kind of doing a curl, but still the trajectory is still up though. So it's still very bullish there. So it isn't necessarily a bad thing. However, if this continues, then we could possibly see something like this right here, right? We kind of go back down and kind of do something like this here. This could happen. If this happens here, it's bullish until it's not. But I'm still inclined to believe that we're still overall Dogecoin is very bullish. I haven't seen any news or any kind of information that would suggest otherwise. Everything I'm seeing is, traditionally speaking, very bullish. So that being said, we can see a scenario like this, or we can even see a scenario like this where it kind of bounces down and it kind of comes back up, it goes back down, and we see more bearish movement here, right? However, we will need to see it play out for the most part because obviously this is speculation here, and this is just me kind of showing you what it could potentially do here. I'm still more inclined to believe that we will see the first scenario rather than the second one. So for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, this could be a very good potential buy dip here, and I suspect by Monday or Tuesday it'll pop back up. And that usually happens on weekends, where it just has weakness because of low volume and people just aren't here watching it. So again, unless there's some kind of strong news happening on a weekend that'll push it up, I'm inclined to believe that it'll stay around here. And again, keep an eye around like a 556, because that is where the current 50-day moving average is, and that's, as I said before, a very strong bounce factor. And as you can see, we have literally traded through the range here, and we're just going down for the most part as of this recording here. But overall, on the daily though, it's still looking positive, right? It's still going up. So we're going to watch a little. We're still going to watch it a little more every day and watch it evolve and develop here. So I'm gonna go to the 4-hour chart now and see what that looks like on a more microscopic view because we're in a bird's eye view here. So you want to get a better idea of what's going on here. But if you look closely here on a 4-hour chart, this sort of looks like let's see what color. Maybe pink is good. It's sort of looking like a descending triangle for the most part. Around here. Wait, one more time. All right. So we could be seeing something like this for the most part. One second. I could see something like this happening because, as I said before, the 585 was I would say a fairly strong resistance and possible support, and obviously now it's kind of breaking down off it. But as always, with these kind of drawings here, it's not always 100% accurate, right? It could go down and kind of go back up right away. So that being said, I can see it happening here. Of course, it could just go straight down as well, but I suspect that won't happen because of one major factor I'm seeing here. I'm going to show it to you real quick. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better. So you see on a 4-hour chart here, we see the 50 MA reaching the 200 MA. So it's literally converging here. So when the 50 MA crosses the 200 MA, we're going to see a bullish cross here. So we're going to see money start printing for us because traditionally speaking, when you see a bullish cross or bearish cross, you're going to see bullish movements for the foreseeable future. So when this crosses here, and by Monday or Tuesday, I suspect we're going to see a nice bounce because this is going to be a buy signal for many people. In a 4-hour chart, is a pretty good time frame for a week or two, usually speaking. Of course, depending on volume and how it pushes it and how it pushes it up or down, we'll have to wait and see. But if it continues in this current trajectory, we're going to see a nice bullish movement here, and for the first time in a while, we're going to see this align with a daily chart. Daily chart is very bullish, 50 over 200, and the 4-hour chart is going to follow that very soon. If that happens here, we're going to see the daily and the 4-hour chart both on the bullish trajectory here. So what that tells me is that in the coming days here, it'll be easier to buy dips and sell pops. So if you're a day trader, that's kind of what you want to do. And again, this isn't financial advice. This is just me sharing with you what I would potentially do. And as always, be safe out there. I always say nibble, don't bite. Nibble means buy small. Bite means buy big, okay? You want to nibble so you get opportunities to buy the lower prices. However, you aren't exposed to the point where, okay, if it goes on further, I have no more dry powder in my pockets to buy over here, right? And even institutional investors, they don't buy one day. They use these bots and algorithms, and they literally just nibble like millions of times throughout the day right here. So obviously we aren't bots, you and I, so we have to be a little more strategic with where we buy, okay? So now let's go to the 15-minute chart here, because the 4-hour chart is looking very bullish in that sense right there. And also, one more thing to note also was a 4-hour MACD chart, and I want to blow it up right now and let you guys see. Yes, it's looking very bearish right now. You see on this chart here. However, we are in the bullish territory. So even if it does reset here, I'm not too concerned, because if it resets, that just means we're going to see a higher low and a higher high, okay? So even if it crosses and does something like this here, right, this could potentially happen where you kind of see it kind of do this, and it'll kind of go back up like that, or you can see something more drastic where it kind of does this and goes back up like this. Either of which way, if it follows this pattern here and it resets in the bullish territory, we're going to see a higher low and a higher high here. So what this means here is that we could potentially see a dip buying opportunity here. So let me move over to the 15-minute chart and see what that looks like now, because this is the part I want to highlight for you guys and just kind of show it to you. So, alrighty then. Whoops, let me get rid of that. So on the 15-minute chart, you can see currently we also have the 50 over 200. So we are literally seeing a line, 15-minute, 4-hour daily chart, all with the bullish pattern and bullish crosses here. Of course, I suspect that if we continue on the current route that we are continuing in the pullback here, yes, we will see some dip buying opportunities here. But the 4-hour and daily is a current bull trend, so it'll eventually put the 50-minute chart as well. It's a matter of just when, in my opinion here. So with that being said, there, yes, we are seeing the current MACD that's resetting, and trending towards the bearish territory here. But as you can see, the previous dip, right, where the MACD is currently residing here on April 2nd, right, about 2:30 a.m., and now you're seeing it reach a very similar place as well. The price is very similar though. So we see it reset again, then this tells me that we're just going to bang around and trade in a consolidation range. So if that happens, we aren't necessarily seeing bearish territory here. We're just seeing it consolidate, because obviously when you see a 30% move upwards, you're going to see some pullback and some consolidation, because that price can't be sustained, because that's just the way it is, right? Unless we see some sort of crazy news that comes out where you see maybe Tesla institutions start buying up Dogecoin, then booyah, we're going to see sustained movements day after day and day after day. But of course, even if that happens, we're still going to see a strong pullback and consolidation. And right now we're seeing consolidation, and I am not worried one bit, and neither should you. If you are, then I guess you have paper hands, and maybe you should reevaluate how you're trading here and how you're investing, because if you're kind of worried, then that just tells me you're too heavily invested in this particular asset here, class. So maybe you need to reevaluate how you're trading and everything. But as always, I'm going to conclude the video today here. And as always, please subscribe, like, and share these videos out so we can grow the Dogecoin community together. And it's Hey John. I will catch you all on the next one.